evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the press conference of the Luxury Symposium for 2022. We have today with us Ms. Prabha Chandran, who happens to be the former editor and the senior communications consultant of World Bank. Along with her, we also have Ms. Ritu Berry, who is the founder of the Luxury League. I will now pass the mic on to Ms. Prabha Chandran.
Yeah. So do we have a mic? And I think Ritu also needs a mic. Hi, good evening everybody, or should I say still afternoon. But welcome all of you to this session. It's really nice to have this first interaction for both Ritu and for me with the Goan media. And all of you are here in large numbers, so thank you. We hope you enjoy our little discussion and the event that will follow tomorrow. So Ritu and I have known each other for more years than we want to reveal, right Ritu? We have, and from the time I was an editor at Saturday Times and Ritu was starting out on her illustrious now career. So I know quite a lot about Ritu, but I would like to introduce you all to her. So I've written a little bit about her. As I said, that she was one of the early pioneers of Indian fashion. Even before India had a couture industry and all the big names that we know today, Ritu was there. I think you started with a boutique, am I right? That's right. Yeah, Ritu started with a boutique. But she always had that extra something that made her work stand out. And in a short time, she attracted the attention of a very, very influential and also quite powerful French couturier. His name was François Lesage. He was known in France as the master of embroidery. And I think in life, Ritu, it really helps if you find a good mentor, someone who can open some doors and guide you when you're stepping out in your career. I think people often ask you about your phenomenal career and your success and how it happened. And I think mentorship, if we can help someone to start, is a big thing. And you did that later once you established yourself in Paris, but I'm jumping ahead a bit. But then you did set up something to help young Indian designers also. We don't have a mic. Can we get a mic for Ritu? So I think it was 1997. Ritu, you went to Paris, and she was the first Indian designer to actually start working as a couturier. She worked with Françoise, and she then had the first Indian fashion show of an Indian designer in Paris, and I'm talking about 1997. So can you imagine in those days, it was just liberalization happening and India opening up to the world, and here's this young girl, and she had a fashion show in Paris Fashion Week up there. So there's hard work, stars, everything coming together, and Ritu was on the international fashion scene with a big bang. I think she was in Time magazine, and Susie Menkes was one at New York Times. I think she was New York Times fashion critic. Herald Tribune, Herald Tribune fashion critic, all raving about her work, because what she did was to bring an Indian aesthetic into an international venue. So that made her work very different. I think also very rich in the culture and the work that was displayed. And after that, there was no stopping you, right? I think you went on to dress a lot of famous people. Yeah, I remember reading it. Yeah. So one would imagine that with all this going on, she had her hands pretty full. But as Ritu was telling me just now, as we were waiting to come in here, I'm a very restless soul. If I'm somewhere, I need to be doing something. And what she started in 2015 was called the Luxury League. I think some of you were asking me earlier on, what is the Luxury League? So I am going to ask Ritu to explain that to you. And I'm just sort of starting the conversation by saying to Ritu that when she first told me about doing the Luxury League, and that was in 2015, I said to her, but we are a poor country in the sense that we have people living at multiple levels, middle class. We have, I think, the third largest number of billionaires now in the world today. But essentially, we have the world's largest number of poor people. So I said to Ritu, how real is it and how relevant is it to have something called Luxury League in India? And now I'm going to ask Ritu to speak.
Thank you, Prabha. I could have had nobody better than you to introduce me, to talk about my work. Besides being a dear friend, you're also super intelligent. So it's very nice when someone who understands the pulse and the real work behind all the effort. Thank you so much for being here with us. And it's a real privilege to be here with all of you because I love Goa. And this is the first time that I'm really doing some sort of work in Goa and meeting all of you and getting what is my passion. From the day I started designing, or the day I launched my label, one thing was very clear. I'm a big India fan. So I come from an army background, from a very patriotic father who used to, instill in us the importance of loving our country. And that's where it all began, because for me it was the love for my country. And in many ways, I don't know if I'm as talented and with the kind of success that I got in India. So I suddenly found myself as a brand name in India. Maybe because there was a lack of other designers, but Ritu Berry was a brand in India very, very quickly, within 2-3 years of me launching my brand. So I decided to challenge myself, and I said, if I'm really that good, I better be able to do something in the fashion capital like Paris. So I went there and challenged myself, and I said, I'm going to do a fashion show in Paris and, prove that I'm really as good as my fellow Indians think I am. So I was in this amazing city where it's very daunting for a young Indian.
And you didn't speak French.
And I didn't speak French, but I never felt the lack of not being French or speaking French amongst the French. And at that point of time, which is way back in 1995, the French were not as friendly towards non-French-speaking people. So they were very snobbish. They were very proud of their themselves. And if it was an Indian who's normally typecast as a copycat, which is what I had to face a lot of in France. A lot of people said, Indian designers who can do embroidery at half the price. She's going to copy our work and she's going to get it done at half the price. So it was a real challenge to make them accept me and say, no, I'm here for the real passion of fashion. So, 30 years, which just flew. I did a lot of fashion. I was heading the French fashion brand. So a lot of dreams came true. I think I worked very hard, but I'm destiny's child. It was meant to be. And one day I was in Paris, now coming back to the concept of the Luxury League, and I was at a luxury conference where there were a lot of important brands, Louis Vuitton, Van Cleef & Arpels, everybody was there, and everyone was talking about how important luxury is from different parts of the world. And I kept waiting for India's turn. I really do believe that India is true luxury, Whatever we have, I'm going to start off with my belief that we are an inspiration to the world, whether it's in the field of science, whether it's in the field of art, whether it's in the field of fashion. There have been so many designers that have done collections inspired by India.
Correct.
So India is an inspiration, but when this conference was going on, there was no mention of India. There was no talk about the beautiful Patiala jewels, the luxurious life of our Maharajas and Maharanis, our palaces. India is a really old civilization, and we were the richest civilization in the world at one time. I mean, the very fact that the Kohinoor comes from India, we've got to claim our heritage, you know. So when throughout the conference there was no mention of India, I got a bit rebellious and I said, how can they not understand that India is true luxury and India needs to be looked at with more respect? So I came back to India and I decided that I'm going to start a club of people where I'm going to promote the luxury from India. And I realized that if we need to go anywhere, we've got to have the support of the government. Because the government needs to understand that luxury is not a bad word, you know, which I found very hard. It's been 5 years now. I launched in 2015, so today is this is going to be the 6th edition. So I tried to explain to everyone that khadi is luxury. Khadi is handmade, hand-woven, hand-spun, zero carbon. It's the most, everyone's talking about sustainability. Khadi is as green as it gets, you know. It comes from India. And if we were to claim the fact that khadi is the national fabric of India, it's unique. You don't find two thans that are the same. And the world has to understand the uniqueness of khadi. But we Indians don't understand. How many of us here in the audience is wearing khadi? Oh, you are? One.
I was a lady there who is complaining that khadi has become upmarket now.
So everything is upmarket. It's how you put it together. It's how you use it. And why should khadi not be upmarket? There are weavers sitting, weaving it by hand. I mean, that's a lot of effort. And if you go abroad and you go to buy something, the price of that object is double or triple because it's handmade. So khadi is handmade. Look at the haldi milk. We talk about haldi milk, and now you go to America, you have these bottled turmeric latte. You know, so which come. I mean, you've grown up with your grandparents, grandmother telling you, "Chot lag gayi, haldi doodh piyo." Am I right? But have any of us claimed that? Have any of us thought of that and said, "This is the pride of our country"? In Goa, you have virgin coconut oil. I take bottles and bottles back to Delhi whenever. I don't use any other coconut oil but coconut oil from Goa. But in the global world, have we been able to say virgin coconut oil from Goa? That's what luxury is for me. Luxury is something that is special, that is handmade, that is hand-woven, that is thought of, that is bespoke, that is Indian. Because I really think India is true luxury.
And that is excellent.
Talking too much, yeah?
No, go ahead. So I wanted to ask you, I have attended your luxury league where in pre-COVID days we had stellar people from all over the world coming to attend the luxury league in Delhi. You did one in Bombay also. So this is the first one that is going to be in Goa. It's happening tomorrow. We hope to see, it's happening day after, and we hope to see you all there. So I wanted to ask Ritu, how do you see Goa as I know that people think of Goa sometimes as a luxury destination, luxury villas, some of the most fantastic hotels in the world. But why did you decide to do the luxury league in Goa?
So when I think of luxury, for me luxury is sleep. Because you see, luxury is different thing for different people. It's definitely not a very expensive bag or a very expensive pair of shoes. Luxury is something that you can really enjoy. So if I'm sleep deprived, luxury for me is sleep, because then I can sleep. And Goa is the place where I really sleep well. And to tell you the truth, for me, Goa is my favorite city in India. And I realized that the way everyone lives in Goa, they really live life. You know, from the air that they breathe, from the food that they eat, from the city, which is so beautiful. I have a beautiful small home in a village called Sukur, and I have to tell you, it is my dream home. When I get to my house in Sukur, I don't step out. I don't need to go to a beach. I don't need to go to a restaurant. I'm in a very luxurious situation, even though it's a small little Portuguese home. So I think luxury has different connotations for different people. For me, luxury is when you're authentic, when you're true to who you are, you're able to enjoy your life. So it's a really luxurious life for me in Goa. And I said, why not? Because people here are so talented. There is this shoemaker I discovered in Goa called Janota, who does handmade bespoke shoes. He's a very old shoemaker in Goa. And I came across so many people with so much talent, with so much possibility of doing global work. So the idea is to find the right talent, whether it's an artist or a craftsman or it's an embroiderer or a designer, and introduce them to global personalities and try to see different possibilities of tourism, increasing employment, increasing businesses. So I thought Goa would be a great place, and we are here doing this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very exciting, and I think that any forum that brings together local craftspeople, and especially the skilled local craftspeople that we're talking about. I met an amazing glass cutter the other day. Very clean hand, and luxury is also excellence of execution, right? And so Ritu, I think that this could be a great opportunity for Goan art, crafts, and also services. We have services in the luxury sector. We talked about the hotels just now, but there are other top-end services, and to try and put them on the map. Because so far, a lot of luxury consumption in India is happening in the big cities, mostly Bombay and Delhi, some in Bangalore as well. So I think that this should be a great opportunity. We should try and make the most of it, and hopefully through your papers we might be able to attract people to come and attend the symposium where they can talk about what they have and what they would like to show and market and benefit for it. So, but coming back to India's more broader topic, in India's luxury industry. I think I saw the latest figures. It was about worth $8 billion. But there was some setback during the first year of the COVID when everything was shut down, you had the lockdowns, and I think mostly consumption overall took a big hit, as did the luxury sector. But then the interesting thing happened that since people weren't going to parties and having big weddings and going on foreign vacations, they had money to spend, and they did it on jewelry. The Indians are wise investors, so they buy gold, jewelry, and suddenly now again the luxury business is on the up and up. And we tend to think that this is just a small section of India that is buying luxury goods like Louis Vuitton bag or something, but it's not true. There are also many aspirational young people who are working, who will save, who will use EMIs to buy that one luxury thing that they like. So we are a growing market, and we are the world's youngest population. So I think the future of luxury is enormous. Yeah, and you see like companies like Titan, they suddenly have this super luxury jewelry line called Zoya. So Indian entrepreneurs and corporates are also looking at the different nuances here of the Indian market. So what I wanted to ask you was, where is the future? Where's the future of Indian luxury going to be? Is it online, offline? Is it in the cities? Is it in the smaller towns? And who should be able to capture that market?
So post-COVID, a lot has changed. The concept of luxury has changed. Everything has become more personal, more family-orientated. There is less flash. But that is also, for me, that is true luxury, where you do something that's exceptional with excellence as your bottom line. And having to come back to Goa, I think during COVID times, the retail market of Goa has boomed. If there's anything that's done well, it's not the retail, the real estate market of Goa has boomed.
Yes,
Everybody from big cities want to come and live in Goa.
correct.
And I've noticed the huge the demand for real estate in Goa has really gone up, and rightfully, because like I said before, this is real living, and also the market is opening up. I know a lot of my friends who are exporters. The home sector has done very well. You know, because a lot of people, they're spending time at home. They want to renovate their house. They want to do, new stuff. And that sector has developed and done very well. But I want to also point out another thing on another note, that what's very important for the luxury industry is for our government to support and understand the importance of luxury. For example, big countries that are looked up to and recognized for luxury, like say France or Italy, they get their branding, the nation's branding, from their luxury industry. You know, so whether it's their champagne, their chocolates, their so basically it's your luxury industry that is giving the nation the branding. You know, Italy is known for its red wine, which is very special, the cheese from France. So when I launched my foundation, I want to tell all of you that the Luxury League is a not-for-profit foundation. I did enough of fashion for 30 years, which was a commercial venture, but this is intended only to drive change. This is not a commercial venture, it's a not-for-profit foundation to support the arts craft. I may be able to succeed, who knows. Even if one brand gets a global presence and does well, I'll say I was successful. But it's an endeavor, and I think if all of us don't work towards it and say somebody else will do it, and we have to do a little bit and give back and make that effort. So I knocked on many doors. I knocked on many ministries because I wanted their support. And whenever I would say the Luxury League, they would say, luxury, नहीं, यहाँ पे luxury की बात मत करो. आप अपना name, Luxury League का नाम बदल दो, हम आपको बहुत कुछ करेंगे. So I would say, I'm sorry, India is true luxury in my eyes. India gives us the license to use luxury as an art form. So I will not change my name, I want you to accept it. So as time came up and as I showed my work to the higher offices in the government, we are very proud that we have the support not just of the Prime Minister's office. We have, for Goa, we have 3 ministries supporting us. We have the Tourism Ministry of India, we have the Textile Ministry of India, and we have the Skill Development Ministry of India. And to add to it, on 26th, the Minister of Culture is coming to be with us and support us and initiate talks with different government bodies in Goa to see what we can do together. So I think not just me and Prabha, even the government sees that there's a lot of potential in the luxury industry. There is a lot of branding to achieve. There's a lot of business to do, and there is a lot of employment possibility. And I really believe that for tourism, there's nothing better like a beautiful 7-star property in Goa attracts a lot of people from all over the world for holidays. So it definitely is a crowd puller. So the luxury industry is expanding and important. So on the 26th, when the minister will be with us, I want to request you all to be with us at 5 p.m. There'll be a quick half-an-hour session where you can meet the minister, you can ask her questions at the Hilton Hotel. So from 5 to 5:30, we will be talking at the Hilton Hotel on the 26th of March, so in the presence of Honorable Minister Meenakshi Lekhi.
So, Ritu, shall we open it up for questions? I'm sure that don't want to keep listening to the two of us talking. So, anyone have any questions?